in the last 5 and 7, do you remember this? I showed you this pattern, and I actually used some fabric that Jenny had given me, and it was a grey fabric. She wasn't so keen on it. It's like a shiny, it's got a little bit of a shine to it, and it's a grey fabric, and it's a jersey, and I quite liked it. So I thought, right, I'll make the shirt with a twisted tie in, and it took me not very long to make, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it hung, and on the pattern the lady's holding, her hand is over the knot, over where the knot twists, and I think that her hand is over where the knot twists because it actually shows a big hole there, and I ended up with a hole and I didn't like it. I'll put you a little video up here to let you see what it looked like, and it just wasn't, the top was nice, it wasn't working for me. So this is the top that I've made. I've made it with some Jenny Flake material that she sent me. It's kind of a, I'm not sure if it's man-made. I think it's man-made, because when I do try to press it, if I have it on too high heat, it would melt, and that's a sign that it's man-made. It's kind of reflective. It's got kind of a sheen about it. Quite nice actually. It's in grey, but I made 2 big errors, and I'm not changing them. I can't be bothered to change. Seam at the front. What kind of a mistake is that? And this fabric is so flimsy that I've had to make it a seam that curls over, and it's quite a short seam. I've sewn in the ditch there. It's kind of a little seam because it's so floppy that it wasn't holding. And the bottom. Now it's not too bad there, but when I wear it, it twists the wrong. A, you see a hole there, which I don't like, so I'm going to have to tighten that up a bit. And B, this, instead of curling that way, ends up curling that way. And you can see it there. No, it's this one. It ends up curling that way. It's the right way around, but for some reason it just seems to keep wanting to curl itself over. So I'm going to have to do something about that. It does look nice on, and I'll show what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify that bit there. As I say, I'm not bothered about that. It looks like it's just part of the pattern, really, to be honest, because there's grey there and grey there. So you might, it's less, I'm hoping it's not too noticeable. But I'm going to fix that because that is just doing my head in, and I'll see what happens there. Now, we've just got to say hello to this little girl. Hello? Hey? Are you not speaking? I've undone the hole here, but then I undid the hole there, and then I decided I didn't like it, so I've undone the hole there, and I love the fabric, but I've now got a gaping hole there, and I think I actually prefer that it hangs straight without that tie. So I'm going to do something with it. I've got some scraps, and I think I'm going to add some little pieces in here, and I think it'll look quite nice because we've got that seam across there anyway. So I think we'll just patch it in and see what happens. Okay, so I twiddled about with it and I created something completely different. I don't know if you like it. I actually think it's quite nice. It reminds me of, now what do you call the ladies that do the Vogue things where they take a piece here and a piece there and they sew it together? It reminded me of that, because all I did was I thought, oh well, I'll sew a piece on there, and I'll sew a piece on there, and I'll sew a piece on there. So I'll let you see what it turned out like. This is the top that I was telling you about. I'll drop the camera so you can see. The twisted knot was here, and of course I didn't like it, did I? So I just basically started sewing pieces on, and I sewed a piece on there and a piece together there. I don't know if you can see. I just went berserk and started sewing pieces on, and I actually like the way it hangs. I thought it was quite nice. So then I thought, are you going to bother changing it? And I thought, no, I'm not going to bother changing it. So do you want to see what it looks like when it's on? I'll show you. So I've got it precariously balanced on top of a glass jug type thing. This is what it's turned out like. I quite like it. It's straight up and down at the back. The back, when I cut it, I had the one that went right down and I didn't like that, so in the end I cut that across. The front, as I said, the video, you'll see how I didn't like it, and so I higgledy-piggledy did things, and I thought it was quite nice. Not bad, is it? I will wear it, I will still wear it, even though it's made of higgledy-piggledy pieces. So I shall call this my higgledy-piggledy top. And number 2 was, well, look, number 2 has actually been going on for a long time. Number 2 is something that a lady called Janine sews. Now Janine has just put up her first vlog because she's been moving house, and I think it's her first vlog since she's moved house. But I was watching her one day and she was telling me about this this particular thing that apparently on Sew Over 50, on the Instagram page of Sew Over 50, which she helps to manage, everybody was buying this book, and everyone was buying the book, and the book was called Making Lunar Lapin, Making Lunar Lapin, complete with cat hairs. And she had made this lunar lapin. She had sent away. She's a Canadian lady. She lives in America. I can't remember where she's moved to, and I know where your states are, but I can never remember where you all live. So anyway, she bought this book, and she bought a kit for this. But I then thought, oh, I'll get this book, and I bought this around about the week 3 of lockdown in the UK, and loved it. I thought it was lovely. It's a lovely book, beautiful book. I shall flick through it and show you what it's like. I'll do let you see looking down on it. But one day I was sat, what was I doing? This book was on the floor. I had just been looking at it and I put it on the floor, and husband, as he does, made me a cup of coffee, and he said, do you want a cup of coffee? And I said yes. And I was sitting on the chair in the sitting room, brand new rug that we just bought in January on the floor, and for some ridiculous reason, and I do not know why, he was talking to me. He was standing talking to me, and I balanced my coffee on my knee. The full cup of coffee, I had it balanced on my knee, with holding the handle of the cup, and then all of a sudden, he just couldn't believe it. My hand went flip flop, and the coffee went one way, and then it went the other way, and it all fell on the floor. And I was absolutely gutted, because the carpet, the lovely rug that we just bought, which is a big rug, had to be, well, at that point we can't clean it, because we were in lockdown. So I got down on my hands and knees and tried to clean as much coffee off it as I could. And this lovely book that I had got splattered with coffee. And you can see I was absolutely gutted. It got covered in coffee on the corner pages. This one covered in coffee there. And I had to clean it up quickly because I didn't want any of the pages sticking together. So all the edges, look at that, wrinkly edges there, all of that. And I hate magazines. I hate anything that like this, completely covered all over. But try to clean it up as much as possible. So I spent that morning, I think it was about 10 o'clock in the morning that happened, spent the whole morning cleaning the floor and cleaning the carpet as best I could, and cleaning this book. But I do like this, and this Lunar Lapin, which is, I thought she was lovely. I then sent away for the felt, but I sent away for 2 different colours of felt. I went for a grey, not a grey, it's a bluey grey, not the grey like this. And I just used fabric that I had in my stash. So what I did was, this is my Lunar Lapin, and I still haven't finished it because I've still got a coat to make. But I made the little dress, and I've still got a nose to do. A little nose has to have a little She has to have a little buttony type nose embroidered on, and so I've got that to do. But this is my Luna lapin. I mean, the other people have used Liberty fabric. I've just used some fabric that I had, little black cotton, and then I've got the little hat that I just used, as I say, a little dress with pockets in, and her little legs with the fabric on the bottom. And I've been finishing off certain parts of it. Basically this week I've been finishing this dress off, and the lace is just a piece of lace with a popper on the back so that it can come off. And the same with the dress. The dress I've put a popper there and a popper there, and so that's her dress. It's just a little dress like that. But I thought the lace, I've got loads of lace that I've bought, and I thought, right, I'm going to use up some of this lace with this. And I also have, and I'll see if I can show you it, this little Luna lapin is staying in here because up here I have a set of 3 little metal chairs like this that usually sit on my mantelpiece. I got them from IKEA years ago, and I love them. And my husband's put a tiny little shelf up in the corner of this room. I don't know if you can see, just up there, a little tiny quarter circle shelf. And he said, what are you going to put on there? So I thought Luna can sit on that chair and just watch the world go by. I may have to fasten her on, and she can sit on that little chair for the time being till I make her an armchair, because in the book, if I can show you, in the book you can make, where is it? I don't know if you can make a little case, but I would imagine you could almost make a little case like that, a little briefcase, if they don't have the pattern in there. But in this book she also has a little sofa that you can make. So I may make the sofa in possibly the next 7 or the 7 after that, just for her to have to sit on. And then what else does she have? She has a t-shirt dress. She has little knickers, I think. I haven't made any knickers. Look at that, little lace knickers. So I could make her some lace knickers. And she also has, oh, then there's a little Alfie rabbit. You could make, I might make another little Alfie rabbit to keep her company. And Alfie has trousers and a waistcoat and shirt. And they're nice little things, because I sat in front of the television hand sewing all of her joints. I thought they were, I don't know if you can see, I spent the whole of the while we're in lockdown just sitting watching TV and sewing all her little joints, and I found it very therapeutic when I was doing that. I have actually made a little jointed teddy bear that's going to sit beside her up on that shelf, and this is he's called Wilfred. So we've got Lockdown Luna and Wilfred. Now Wilfred was made around about last October, I think it was, and he's got little joints that move. His hands and arms move like that, and his little legs move. I used to make teddy bears and years ago. I'm not overly impressed by the way I've done this. I wasn't so keen on the fabric. This is what they gave me in a kit, and I'm not altogether very impressed by that. But I just thought I'd try it, and I think I've still got the pattern, so I think if I do it again I'll use some different fabric for that. But anyway, Lockdown Luna is going to get her nose finished, and little Wilfred will sit beside her up on that shelf up there. And I don't know if you can see, I've got the little boat up there as well. So there's that little boat up there, that's up there for her, for them as well. And so the book is £15.99 or $22.99. And I think she's brought another one out. I can't remember what the new one is, but I do like this one. I like the long ears on her. I just thought it was really nice little doll, and something you can make for Christmas. I'll put the link down below for the Luna lapin for the where you can get the fabric from in the UK. I'm not sure about America, but I think Janine bought her stuff from England and had it sent to her. I'll put the link to the book, and if you want to know the link, I'll put the link to little Wilfred as well. So that is number 2. Number 3 is some fabric that Jenny Flake sent me. She sent me over recent months during lockdown and just after lockdown a few weeks back. She sent me lots of fabric, and I know you can't get the fabric, so I'm kind of, in a sense, you could say I'm gloating that I've got all this fabric, but it just let you see what it looks like, because sometimes you may find this fabric very similar and you'll get an idea of what it looks like in the flesh. I think I showed you some that she'd given me that was I didn't like the colour of, and I dyed it. I have done that a couple of times more since then. The first one is this. Not overly keen on the pattern because it's a very big busy pattern, but I tried to dye it, and it's cotton jersey. At least I thought it was cotton jersey. It looks like cotton jersey. And when I tried to dye it just 3 days ago, I thought, oh, it's beige and black, and I thought that's not my colours, or it's not the kind of colour that I would want to wear. So I tried to dye it grey. I thought I'll have grey and black, and it came out exactly the same colour as I put it in. So I have no idea why, but there's an awful lot of it. And then I thought, well, what'll I do with it? And then I thought, no, do you remember the pattern for the pyjamas that I showed you last week? Well, I'm going to make the pyjamas out of this. The other ones that I have are this one, which has been dyed. This was a beige colour, and again, there was a lot of beiges and browns, and I wasn't very keen on that, so I dyed it, and I ended up with this beautiful, it looks lovely. I've done it in purple, and it's actually come out in 3 different colours. This actually is like a browny purple. It's not purple completely. And round the edge of the flowers, I don't know if I can show you. Hold on, if I do it like that. Right, it's a browny purple here, and round the edge of the flowers is a different coloured purple, and it looks really nice. So that I will make a top with. If anything, it's showing you how you can dye cotton jerseys. They should take very nicely. So that one. Then I got given this one, which again, I think this will make another pair of pyjamas. I think there's only enough for a pair of pyjama bottoms or a top, but that's a leopard skin type of effect. I think it's only about 1 metre, but that's doubled over. There, doubled over. So that, again, not my cup of tea, but then I thought, well, you know, who sees you apart from the hubby when you go to bed? So it doesn't really matter. So I shall make a nice, probably a top rather than the bottoms. I might make some black pants, black pyjama pants to go with it. So there was that one. Then, now as I say, this has been over, these are 2 lots. The last lot she sent me, there was absolutely tons of it. And this was one of them. And even though I'm not into beiges, I thought it was quite nice. I thought it would make quite a nice dress. It's like a beigey brown. It's more of a camel colour, this one. You can't really tell, it's coming through as it's coming through as a very light beige on this camera. But it's actually, no, that's not shown very well, but it's actually like a Mediterranean tan colour, and there's probably about 2 to 3 meters there that I can make, and I can actually combine it with this one, which is the other way around, which is black and white. Not black and white, black and brown. So the brown on here is the same colour as the brown on that. They're just reverse, and it looks lovely. So I've got 2 meters, I think it is. No, 1 metre. Or possibly 2 meters of that one as well. No, I think it's 1.5 meters. So I may either combine the 2 together to do something with it, or I might just make 2 separate tops, I don't know. Now, you know how I don't like green? Well, she sent me green, and believe it or not, I like it. And the green that she sent me was this one. It's like a ditzy green, a very ditzy green, and I do like it. It's more of a, the green isn't it's more of a, like an army green. So I thought that was nice, and I've got absolutely loads of this one. I think I've got 3 meters possibly, so that can make a nice dress. I might make a dress out of that for the winter. Jackie, I think it was, said she doesn't wear dresses, she wears jeans. I wear jeans a lot, but I have to say that over the summer, with watching all these videos where people are making dresses, I thought I would make a few dresses, and I'm amazed at how many, when I've worn those dresses, I'm amazed, I think I mentioned this last week, how many times people have said, oh, I like that dress, that's lovely, I really like it. So I thought, well, if the people are making that comment, I shall carry on making them. Now, the next piece of fabric is this one. Again, it's a beigey brown, it's a mustard brown, and this is like the foresty type of stuff. It is lovely, and that will make a gorgeous dress. And there is quite a lot. There's probably about 1, 2, about 3 meters of that as well, and I think that will make a lovely dress as well. So that is actually, even though it's a mustard colour, because it's got the black in it, that is my kind of colours that I would go for if I was going for a dress. Let's see if I can show you. I don't know what it looked like on here, but I think it's gorgeous, really lovely. So there's that one. And then I also sent, I think Jenny was getting bored with being locked down. And I think when they said that lockdown was, you could go out, because Jenny's been shielding herself, and when they said she could go out, the first thing, not long after, the first thing she did was she went round to Year's house and said, have you got any fabric? And so he said, yeah. So she came back with even more fabric, and she messaged me and said, do you want some fabric? And I said, oh, all right, I'll have some. I am paying her for it, don't you know, she's not just sending me this fabric, I am paying her. But this is a lovely yellow flower, little ditty yellow flower. Very, reminded me of the fabric that my granddaughter made her outfit with. And I don't think yes, I did have it, but it wasn't to her liking. I think the yellow was too yellow and she wanted to be mustard. So that's a nice one. It's about 1.5 meters possibly. I do like that. Oh, somebody was you were asking me if I did my granddaughter make all of her little garment, a jumpsuit that she made. She was guided by me. I made the belt. She had a belt, she wanted a tight belt to go around, and she made the jumpsuit, but then when she finished it, it was a bit baggy, so we had to take it in down up the front and the back, and I showed her how to do it. I showed her how to pin it, and then I let her sew it up. So quite a lot of it was done by her. The belt was made by me. Now this is, the next one is a dyed thing. I dyed this fabric. Now what colour was this fabric? Oh, this was a mustard yellow fabric, and it was really bright mustard yellow, a funny colour mustard. It was, and I can't even describe what it was like. And I thought, oh, I might dye that, and I thought I'd dye it purple. But when it came out, this is the thing about dyeing, when it came out this colour, and that colour is like a rusty brown. When I first bring it up to you, that's the colour it is, but then it lightens up, and that's not the colour it is. So if I do it again, that's the colour it is, that's not the colour it is, that's the colour it is, that's not the colour it is. But turn it round to the inside, and that's the colour is the inside. So isn't that amazing? Because it was a really strong mustard, it turned out, this is the thing, when you if you do a colour palette and you mix colours together, that's the colour you get. But that was the colour I dyed it. So isn't that amazing? Again, not a kind of colour that I would use, but I'm sure I could make something out of it. Even if it's a 12 or to start, you know, to try out a new pattern with. So that's another one. And then I said to her, do they have any cottons or not voiles, have anything that's not stretch? And so she sent me this. And this is absolutely tons again of a white spotted cotton. And it's a soft cotton. Don't know if you can see, soft cotton. Really a lot there. Now with grey hair, I'm not sure if that might be too pale, so it might go down the dyeing route. We will have to see. But that is lovely. And I've got, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 3 to 4 meters there. And my battery is about to go, so I'll quickly finish. The next one, which is the last one, is this lovely red cotton with the ditty flowers. And with this one, I think there'll be enough to make a dress again. That's a width. I think that'll look nice. And like that, to about 2.5 meters. So that's the next one. And so I have plenty, absolutely loads. My husband is absolutely, when the parcel came, he says, more fabric, he said. I said, Brian, I'm in lockdown, and when I'm in lockdown I want fabric. So yeah, he doesn't mind. But I really need to, now I'm retired, I need to start sewing because I've got all this fabric to use up. I do have another piece of fabric that I just dyed today. It was some that she gave me. I think I might even have shown you that one. And I just was umming and ahhing about the fabric colour. So I've dyed it and it's turned out beautiful. And I'll go and show you it. This is what it looked like. And it's still damp. But this is what it looks like now. And I shall bring it up close for you to see. These flowers are still blue. And those ones are pale blue. If I do that, hold on. Pale blue. But again, it's not a pink colour. It's a lovely red colour. Very nice colour that it's turned out. I am so pleased with this. So this is, quite a few people on Instagram have been wearing bright red dresses, and I thought, right, I might make myself a red dress and see what it turns out like. So this, I just dyed this afternoon. We had Mummy and her partner came for an afternoon. We went out to the pub. Anyway, we had Mummy for lunch. Well, we didn't have Mummy for lunch. His Lordship's mother came up with her partner and we went and took them out for lunch. So we had a nice time. But while we were chatting, I thought I'd stick this in the washing machine and dye it. And it came out beautiful. So that's that one. So that was number, what was it, number 3? 1, 2, 3. That was number 3. Number 4 is the patterns. So the first one is actually, I've probably got this already from a different company, very similar to one of the companies that I have, and that's McCall's M7331, but it was the colour of the pictures that caught my eye, and that's that one. It's got, she's wearing grey and a burnt orange, and I thought they were lovely. Now I've got something very, very similar where it's somebody wearing brown, and I'm not sure if it is still McCall's. I wouldn't be surprised if they keep recycling the patterns, you know, and just put different models on and do different fabrics, and it makes people go and buy them again. So you've got the straight skirt, you've got the cardigan, you've got the jumper, and you've got the trousers. So if you look at the back, That is, I'll bring that closer if you can. Those are the 4 outfits, front and back. And this one is a size 14 to a 22. And the 14 to 22, it's that way for you to see. I'll turn my head. 14 is, where's the 14? Ah, here. 14 is a 36 bust to a 44 bust, which is a 22. I don't know why I bought this, because I've got several of these. It's like that shirt that I showed you last week. I have several of the shirts, but I thought the picture looked quite nice. And this is a McCall's M8041. It's a level learn to sew, and that's it there. I quite liked the green. That's my kind of green that I like, the army green. And it's very similar. I think last year, you might remember that I bought a shirt in the department store that I liked, and I was asking about if anybody could recommend patterns, and this is very similar to some of the patterns he recommended. So that is M8041. It's actually an American version, and it is sizes 14 to 22, and the 14 is again a 36 to a 44 inch bust. That's the back views. If I get close and then I work my way up. And it's called hashtag Matty McCalls. I'm going to look up hashtag Matty McCalls. What does that mean? I'll have a look at it. I wondered if my granddaughter would like this, but I'm don't know. McCall's M7903, and anyway I didn't get it in her size, is that one. And a lot of people on Instagram have been showing off this kind of a pattern where it's got a frill. Probably not for my body shape, but you know, I might just try it with one of these fabrics that I've got. That one is a 14 to a 22, which is a 36 to a 44, and those are the rear pictures, the front and back. I thought it was quite nice with the frills. I do like the one that she's wearing on the front. I think that's quite nice. And it looks like, oh yes, it's got little gaps on the shoulders. There's a split there. Can you see that split? The split, because I've just noticed there on the back of those, they've got a split on the side. Just there, where the neck is. That's quite nice anyway. So, a loose fitting pullover top with a tie closure, raglan sleeves and neck, sleeve and length variations. And it's suitable for crepe de chine, charmeuse, georgette and chiffon. I have got some chiffon. I think that might be quite nice for that. The next one I got was partly for my granddaughter, but partly I wondered whether when I got it, I thought, oh, I could maybe try this. Not for myself, but in the let's start again. I thought I could try a bra from this if I could. And this is M7958, and it's a little bra top. And it's got a little bit, it's like a, what would you call it, a flounce. You can have a flounce on it if you want to. And that's the rear view. Those are the line drawings. And this one is an extra small to an extra large. Extra small is a 29 inch bust to a 30.5 inch bust, and the extra large is a 42 to a 44. And the reason why I hadn't bought it for myself, I bought it to show her, in the hope that she might say, oh yes grandma, I wouldn't mind making one, but I haven't shown her it yet. But it says that it has different cup sizes. Separate pattern pieces are included for cup sizes A, B, C and D. So I thought, well, it might be worth a try just to see. I'd have to try it first and see what it would look like with a D cup, which I might even have to make it bigger again for myself. But I just wondered if I might try it. I might trace it off and have a try anyway. Whether it works out or not, I don't know, because I'm not the young girl. Anyway, the next one that I got was McCall's M7840. Again, it's very similar to a lot of other ones that I've got. I think I got it basically for the granddaughter to have a look at, and that's it there. It's a shirty type top. To be honest, once I got it, I thought, I can't imagine her wanting to wear that, because she's with her being young and having a little bit of a shape now, getting a bust. I thought, well, she might not want to wear that. So that's the back, but it's quite nice. Now you see, I think I'd probably make that, because I quite like this kind of thing. I'm not so bothered about this bit hanging down the back, but I figured that would be quite nice, just a bit like the way artists' smocks were. Do you remember? Those of you who are old enough and who lived in the UK when you were in the 70s, we had cheesecloth tops and we had smocks. We wore smocks, and they were fishermen's smocks. Do you remember the fishermen's smocks? I loved those. I so loved those. And I also, do you remember loons? We used to have loons where they would like flared trousers. Put these down a minute. The flared trousers that came down out and went right out from your knee, right out. And the loons were about that wide, about a good more than 12 inches. And also, when you got your denims, you cut up the side seam and put a flowery fabric in the middle. I thought you were great, because you've got this flowery piece up the middle of your denims. And funny enough, we were watching the Sky Arts last night, and his lordship was watching something about the Beatles, and my son is absolutely bonkers over the Beatles. He has actually, and I said to him, why are you so keen on the Beatles? And he said, Mum, he says, one day, he says, I wasn't at school, and he says, I had nothing to do. So he says, I went and started playing some of your Beatles LPs. And he said, I couldn't believe how great they were. And I said, really? And he said, yes. He says, do you know, he says, every single one of their LPs is not the same. Whereas other people, when they create LP, you could, from one LP to the next, they sound very similar. But he said the Beatles are always different. So anyway, we were watching this Beatles film documentary, and then that was followed by Rolling Stones documentary, and he went off to talk to somebody on the phone, and I carried on watching this documentary of the Rolling Stones. And there were these people, hippies, dressed as hippies, walking along. They were scruffy. And I'm looking at them, I'm thinking, golly, it's no wonder my parents, or the parents of our generation, said, what on earth do you think you're going out like that for? Because they had things round their hair. The hair was messy. Some of them looked as if their face hadn't been washed for weeks. And I was thinking, golly, they could do with a good bath. But yes, we used to make flary trousers, and so this one, going back to this pattern reminds me of the cheesecloth type smocks we used to have. So I might just make that. And we've got two more patterns left. This one is another McCall's. I must have gone berserk with McCall's. McCall's M7871. I'm sure I've got this pattern somewhere else that's very similar. And that's it there. It's a top. I do like it. Actually, it's not, you don't notice it there, but it's very same design as Janice Clyer sent me a pattern where the fabric has a triangle there, and you'll see it better on the diagram there. It has like a, I don't know if that's a pocket or whether it's just a design, but it does look nice. That's the front. You can see what they look like there. And this is sizes 6 to 22, so it's quite a good range. It's for stretch fabric, and it's for sizes 30.5 inch bust to a 44. So that caters for quite a lot of people's sizes. I do like that. I do like that style with leggings for the winter. That's another one. And then lastly, this is a Simplicity top, and this caught my eye. And this is Simplicity S8950, and I liked this idea with a rushed design just off centre with the V-neck and the rush design. That's that one. Not so keen on the one with the middle, but you know, everybody each to their own taste. Quite like that one where it's a two-tone thing. I could do those spotty fabrics that way. you never know. You never know. So those are the patterns that I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I am not buying any more patterns for the moment. I have got far too many. Everywhere I look I can see patterns. So I really need to start sorting them out. So that was number 4. Now what am I going to tell you for number 5? Number 5 is a Lacala pattern that I made. And it was made with this fabric that I got the other month. And it's a Lacala pattern that has a smock top, and at the front it has buttons going down. Don't know if you can see there. It's got a little button panel. It's actually, it doesn't really open. Well, it does open, but you don't need to open it. And it's a soft cotton. It's lovely. It's really nice on. I'll show you it on the model. A little button panel down there. The front gathers go down at the side, and it's lovely for me because I have it with me having a big bust. It just hangs straight down there, which is really nice. I've washed it and it just needs pressing again. I wore it earlier on this week. I do think it's a Lacala one. It's to my measurements, but I do think it's meant to be baggy. But I think I might take it in a little bit at the side and just pull it in a fraction, because it does feel a little bit too baggy. I think it's meant to be baggy, but for me, for my stand, it's a little bit too baggy. At the back, I can't remember if it had to have a zip in it. I don't think it did. So, but it's got a seam, and I'm a sucker for forgetting to put it on the fold. And so, but other than that, I do like it. Again, it's another one of those. Oops, it's another one of those dresses that I've worn, and people have complimented on how nice it is. I think the day that I took the girls back to meet their mum, I wore it when I went down to Leicester. I made the sleeves slightly longer, but the nice thing is it takes your measurements, your own bust measurements, and I've been very happy so far with quite a lot of the Lacala patterns. They've always turned out really nice. There's been maybe it's one that didn't turn out very nice, but most of them have turned out, you know, well beyond my expectations. And this one, as I say, I love it. Everybody said it was nice. I'm very pleased with it. The fabric is made, it's a very drapey cotton fabric, which makes a big difference. It's not sticking out. So I do like that. I think those are for the days when you really have a big belly and you want to hide it. And so and I'm sure we all have days like that. I'm going to stop there, and so that's my 5 and 7, and we'll stop there because his lordship's made a cup of coffee, and I'm going to go and join him and have my coffee and sit down and enjoy the rest of the evening. I'll catch you next time. Bye.